All right, let me introduce you guys here. This is Kenzie, okay? Kenzie cut her own bangs, all right? There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, again, usually when you guys cut your own fringe, you might not go as far back as she did. I mean, this is a lot of fringe. We are going to fix this, no worry, right? But she was inspired by her sister, so we're going to give them a very similar kind of thing. As you guys can see, that's a lot of fringe happening in the front area. Don't worry, Jake's here to save this day. It's gonna be amazing. So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna be doing something fabulous. It's coming right up. All right, guys, so when you guys are beginning, okay, one of the things we first want to establish, we're going to establish really that center part. This is where she parts her hair, is right here in the center. What we want to do is we want to start off with where the shortest point is going to be. Of course, the shortest point, what she's already done is her fringe, but we need to actually make this shorter in order to where her line right now is gradually kind of happening just like this. And we want this line to be a lot more vertical like that. Not vertical like this, but I mean just a lot more vertical like this. So in order to make sure, because this fringe goes pretty far back, and so we're gonna have to make these a little bit more short to kind of make up for that. Instead of this line being like this, it needs to be like that. So in order to do that, let's start here, right here. And you guys have seen where I've done this before in my videos. We really want to find around the hairline. Now, finding around the hairline, as you can see, just like this, okay? Now we went to the top of the ear, just like that. Now we're gonna push all of this hair forward, and you're gonna see where that fringe is at, just like right through there. Now we need to fix a lot of this. So we're gonna be going in just like that. So let's just go ahead and start cutting right now. Okay, so now when we start to really look at that, we can start to really kind of see how this shape now is kind of going back like that, right? Instead of it having this shape just like that. So let's go ahead and match this other side. And I'm going to take a little bit of a guide from this previous portion, just right through here. As you can see that. Now I have this guide right through here. You can see where that guide is at. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to keep this going from right behind the back of each section. And so I just took about 3/4 of an inch on this side, all the way down, back behind the back of the ear. And as you can see that, just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing over here on this side. Take that, push this forward, just like that. The problem is that that fringe, you know, is still pretty heavy back through here. So that line, we need to make sure that no matter what, that we're still kind of making sure that that line pops right behind the back there. And you can see my guide underneath here. As you're starting to see, this is going to be fabulous. This is actually gonna look amazing. Really starting to change that shape in front, really actually just complements her face shape so much more. So it's amazing on how doing something impulsive can really start to blossom into something fabulous. Then I'm gonna take some sections right behind our previous. A lot of this hair does not necessarily live right in front, and that's why I'm taking these sections in a fairly rough way, but I'm just kind of cutting these off because we're going to be layering that top portion. So I'm just kind of taking a lot of it and just getting a lot of that main length off of there. And it doesn't necessarily blend right with the front. It doesn't have to blend with the front, as you can see that, because what I want to do now is I want to take some of this section. I really want to start to layer that top portion. So now I'm going to take this back. I'm going to take a little bit of our left center, and then I'm going to take a little bit of our right center, just like that. And then go ahead and hold this straight up. And as you can see, because really what I want to start to happen, now this is where that's disconnected, right? And you can see how that's not blending in that top portion, but we're not going to keep it disconnected. Okay guys, so the thing we really want to keep in mind here is that, you know, if something like this was to happen, okay? Now, if you were to cut like a very heavy fringe and you wanted to get this to blend, the one thing you want to keep in mind is take from the shortest point right through here, and you want to angle this extremely like that. Now, as you start to take the sections back, you can of course start leaving the length a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, because really what we want to do is we're still kind of blending to where this length isn't back. Then when you're starting to blend that top portion, you want to bring everything up to this center portion, and we're going to start to blend throughout this top area right through here. And as you start to bring up each remaining section right below it, we're going to be taking this right up into the previous section to cascade everything just like that. We're actually really going to start to get that like very shag almost. It's a classic, very classic shag, not necessarily wolf haircut. That would be a little bit more disconnected. Now I'm actually just kind of double checking everything that I've kind of done before. And instead of bringing that just kind of straight forward, I'm actually kind of bringing this up just a little bit more, a little more elevation to check my line right here. All right guys, so after you get done doing those sections, we're gonna dry this, okay? Now we're gonna dry this with a little bit more lift. You know, I'm actually gonna put a little bit of mousse in there. Now I wanna create a little bit of mousse because I really want that hair to not stick essentially to that scalp, right? So we wanna kind of lift that out. So we're gonna be going through with two different styles of brushes, you know, to really kind of push the hair away from the scalp, you know, and then we're really just gonna see how this starts to dry naturally, a little bit more kind of rough dried, and then I'll see if I want to actually put any sort of bend into this. Because she does have straight hair, and I wanna make sure that this cut is going to work with her letting her hair naturally air dry the most. And if she wants to jazz it up with a little bit more bend in it, then so be it. But I wanna make sure that that shape is dialed in there first with it really straight. Cool, let's go ahead and dry this. There's one important thing that you can learn by making a mistake. As long as the hair is attached to the head, okay, you can salvage it, right? Now, if you were to color your own hair and burn it off and break all that off, there's not a lot you can do to salvage that. But if you do decide to go in, cut your own hair, cut something too short, whatever it may be, as long as you've got some hair on the head, you can salvage that, right? So make sure you go see a hairdresser that can, salvage this. This is starting to look absolutely amazing. I really hope you guys are kind of digging what is happening. So, and again, it's just a lot more layered, but again, we are not done yet. So we're gonna go in and we're still going to, just kind of bring this to life even just a little bit more. But yeah, I'm really starting to kind of dig how everything is looking. So let's go ahead and refine this. When you start to blend from extreme shorts to like a lot of length, there's gonna be portions in here that you need to kind of take care of. So that's what I'm gonna go in and do right now. So I'm just gonna go in and just look and see really how is everything looking on those perimeters. I mean, look how fun this can be if she was to go and kind of pull this up right through here. Then she could have like a lot of that activity right in that front portion, which is really kind of super cool as well. So again, I love it. If you guys are digging it, let me know what you guys think, Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. You know how I like love. I'm going to be using one of probably, if not my most favorite product ever. Now this is called Swept Up. This is from Orbe. This is a volumizing powder. This stuff works amazing on naturally straight hair, naturally kind of like wavy hair. But the great thing about naturally straight hair is that naturally straight hair is usually a little bit more flat, okay? Now we're gonna use this product in here and we're gonna spray it right here at that root area. Now, as you can see, when I spray it in here at that root area, you're gonna get a lot of lift, which is super fun. Now, just hit that little root area, and I'm taking little sections just like that. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the cool thing about it is that look how much volume this actually is going to provoke. And the cool thing about it, when you're spraying it in those sections like that, I mean, if you guys ever do any sort of like gardening or something like that, you're gonna notice that if your plant is kind of falling over, you're gonna put something underneath to help out with that volume. And the cool thing about this is that when you spray this on here, it creates almost like a grip as well. Now that grip allows us to have that volume, that pieciness, that texture in there just by going in and kind of molding it with your fingers. And you can see how I'm gonna start to kind of bring out that curtain look just like that. Now I'm taking my fingers and I'm just kind of rolling it just like this. Now, as you can see how cool that looks right in that front area, okay? Now look how kind of fun that looks right through there. Very happening, very trendy right now. I really hope you guys enjoyed what I did today. Taking something from home, a little DIY, fixing that just a little bit. Guys, again, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jake Thompson Hair. If you guys haven't liked, commented, subscribed, go ahead and do that. I appreciate it. Guys, I wanna thank Kenzie for allowing me to kind of give her a new little makeover. Guys, I will see you guys in the next video.